Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm filming my stats and extracurricular video. I'm just going to be talking about the stats and extracurricular activities that helped me get into schools like Emory, USC, WashU, Duke, Rice, UNC, and a bunch more. I just want to say that I'm super grateful to have gotten into the schools I've gotten into, and I was just so nervous, honestly, as I was applying to colleges and waiting to hear back. I just had no idea how it was going to go, but I just kept trusting God and praying, and I'm very happy with where I get to attend this fall. So for all of you guys who are applying to college and are nervous, or even if you apply to college in a few years, just know that everything will work out. I watched a ton of these videos as I was applying to college and even like in the years before, because it's interesting to see what kinds of people get into the colleges you're interested in and what they've done throughout high school. But I will say, take it with a grain of salt. The college application process is really unpredictable and it can be frustrating at times, rewarding at times. If you're thinking about applying to a school, I'd say just go for it, because if you don't apply, then it's an automatic no. So I definitely encourage you to apply and just shoot your shot everywhere and see what happens. And I wish you guys all the best. I do plan to film more videos, like a whole entire series about applying to college. I just want to share my knowledge and my experience with you all. If you want any specific video, be sure to comment it down below. And yeah, so let's just get started. First, I'm going to talk about my background information, just a little bit about me. So I'm from the United States. I was born here. So when I applied to my colleges, I was a domestic applicant because I applied to all US colleges. I attended a public high school. I was an IB diploma program candidate. So basically I was a part of the International Baccalaureate program at my school. To all of my colleges, I pretty much applied either as a biology, neuroscience, psychology, molecular biology. A few schools I did also put like public health. I plan on being pre-med in college. I think that's like all the information you should know. So now let's talk about numbers. So let's start with GPA. But before I tell you my GPA, I would like to kind of explain how my school does GPA. So our scale is out of 5.0. Basically, an honors class adds 0.5 and an AP or IB class adds 1. So my weighted GPA was a 4.6591 out of 5, and my unweighted GPA was a 4.0. But on our transcript, they only report our weighted GPA, so that's why I submitted to colleges. And then my class rank, I was 21 out of 364, and again, that's weighted. Now I'm gonna talk about my actual courses that are listed on my transcript. In the transcript I submitted to my colleges, it lists my grades from 9th, 10th, and 11th grade, as well as my senior year courses, but no actual grades. In middle school, I took a few high school level courses, so they're also listed on my transcript. So in 7th grade, I took Math 1, and I got a 91. In 8th grade, I took Math 2, and I got a 96. In Spanish 1, and I got a 94. Starting with 9th grade, I took Civics and Economic Honors, and I got a 97. Honors Biology 1, I got a 99. Honors English 1, I got a 96. Honors Math 3, I got a 98. PE, I got a 99. Spanish 2, 99. And Visual Arts, and I got a 95. For 10th grade or sophomore year, I took Honors Chemistry online this summer going into my sophomore year, so the summer after freshman year, and I got a 94. I took Honors Anatomy and Physiology, got 100. I took AP Environmental Science, and I received 97. I took AP Statistics, and I got a 99. I took AP World History, and I got a 97. I took Honors English 2, and I got a 97. I took Honors Pre-Calc, I got a 96. And I took Honors Spanish 3, and I got a 99. Moving on to 11th grade, or my junior year, and this was completely online for me. Basically, the summer going into my junior year is when I started my YouTube channel, so you can see a lot of like my study vlogs and day in the life videos from my junior year, which I think is cool. So I'll link the playlist down below and in the eye if you're interested in watching. So I took AP Calculus AB, I got a 97. I took IB Biology SL, I got a 99. I took IB History of the Americas HL, I got a 99. I took IB English Literature SL, I got a 96. I took IB Spanish SL, I got a 98. I took IB Psychology SL, and I got 100. And then IB Theory of Knowledge 1, and I got a 99. Then for my senior year courses, again, there are no grades here, but I took AP Psychology, IB Biology HL, IB History SL, which is basically just 20th century world history, IB English Literature HL, IB Spanish HL, IB Math Applications and Interpretations SL, and IB Theory of Knowledge 2. So those are all of my courses and my GPA and rank, and now I'm going to talk about standardized testing. Basically, I just submitted a 32 super score on my ACT, and I submitted that to all of my colleges. My philosophy when it came to test optional was that my score is really not bad. Of course, I would have liked it to be a little bit better, but it's not a bad score, so I figured I would just lay it all out on the table and let my colleges see exactly what I got rather than having them guess. I felt like it would be a little suspicious if I didn't submit it, honestly. So my advice, if you're thinking about going test optional, if you really think that your test score will hurt your application, of course don't submit it. But if you're kind of just in that in-between of, I mean, it's not the best, but it's like okay, then I would just say go ahead and submit it. Okay, so now on to my AP subject tests. I submitted 4. I took AP World History. I got a 4. I got a 5 on AP Statistics, a 5 on Environmental Science, and a 5 on APUSH, or United States History. I also listed AP Psychology, but I'm still waiting to get my score for that. As far as my IB subject tests, I had taken IB Psychology SL, and I got a 6, and all the rest of my IB scores I'm still waiting to get back. Okay, so now on to extracurriculars, which I guess is the more exciting part of these types of videos. So basically on the Common App, when you go to enter your extracurricular activities, they have a drop-down menu and you can select these different categories that your extracurricular falls under. So for example, like a club or an internship or sports. For me, I listed mine generally in order of importance or like how much time I committed to these activities. And I think that's what most people typically do, but you don't have to do that if you don't want to. I think that's just kind of like the universal thing that's done. So the first thing I listed was listed under other club / activity, and it was my YouTube channel, Studybright. And so on my channel, I create study, stationery, student life, and motivational content. I mentioned that I hosted an international school supplies giveaway, and that at the point of submitting my application, I had earned over 900,000 views and 22.3k subscribers. I participated in this in my 11th and 12th grade years, and I plan to do this after I graduate high school. I did this activity during the summer and the school year, and this was about a 20-hour a week 50-week a year commitment. It's not the exact same every single week. It really does change depending on when I'm filming and editing, but I typically every single week I'm doing something for my channel, whether it be replying to comments and emails or filming and editing and just like sort of behind the scenes stuff. The next thing I listed was my internship, and basically I was a high school student research intern in a molecular biology laboratory, and the lab studied respiratory disease. Some of the things that I learned and that I performed at this lab were qPCR and immunoassays like ELISAs and lateral flow tests, and I also did some statistical analysis. I participated in this in my 10th and 12th grade years during the summer and during the school year. It was about a 40-hour a week, 8-week a year commitment, so it was not like all throughout the school year, and this was one of my favorite activities. I truly learned a lot, and it really like cemented my interest in scientific research. So the next thing I listed was under other club / activity, and it was actually a club that I founded and I was president of. It was basically just a club focused on unity and academics and preparing for college. And so I did this in my 12th grade year. This was during the school year. It was about a 7-hour a week, 35-week a year commitment. This club was a really big time commitment for me, and it was also my main traditional leadership role. So it was definitely a huge learning experience. I learned so much from it, but it was one of my favorite activities that I've done throughout high school. The next thing I listed was under the community service volunteer tab, and I was a camp counselor at a summer enrichment camp for kids with special needs. I was responsible for preparing snacks, chaperoning field trips, planning and leading sensory activities, and giving academic tutoring to children from like preschool to 5th grade. I did this in my 9th grade year over the summer, and it was about 50 hours a week, 8 weeks a year. Basically, I would just go every single day for those 8 weeks and stay all day, and it was so fun. And it really actually, not immediately, but like as I reflected on this experience, helped me decide what I want to do in college and my career. So it was definitely a very impactful experience. The next thing I listed was under the religious tab, and it was basically just my involvement at my church. Basically, I danced at my church. I was an usher. I was involved in the media ministry where I would help control the camera and like the projectors and the screens and like all the graphics that are projected to the audience. And then I would also volunteer volunteer at outreach events. I chaperoned at some lock-ins or like sleepovers and other events at my church. And this was in 9th, 10th, 12th grade, and then I plan to do it post-grad, and it was during the school year and the summer. And then the next thing was under the career-oriented tab. I was a club ambassador for a medical careers club. When we were in person prior to COVID, we would come and we would eat dinner, and then we would have a guest speaker from all different types of healthcare and medical careers come. We would have PAs, doctors like OBGYNs, we had an orthopedist, we've had nurses, nurse practitioners. We've also had like healthcare administrators come, and it was just really a great club, and it exposed you to all different types of careers beyond just physicians and nurses, which is what people typically think of when it comes to healthcare. So it was really fun, and basically I would work with the club advisor and the other ambassadors to plan and lead club meetings and activities. I personally was usually responsible for introducing and thanking the guest speakers that we had, and then we also participated in labs and earned health certifications. And then once we transferred to having the club remotely, we still had our guest speakers, and they would come on Zoom, and we would just do like remote activities and icebreakers, but it was still really fun. So I did this in my 10th, 11th, and 12th grade years during the school year. It was a 3.5-hour week commitment for 8 weeks a year. Next thing I have is under student government and politics. I was a committee chair for this IB advisory board, and basically we would meet with the IB coordinator and just plan like initiatives and methods that we could use to improve the experience for IB students at our school. And I personally proposed and led a mentorship program between IB juniors and seniors, where basically the juniors and seniors would get paired up, and that would be kind of like their mentor or buddy. And if they had any questions about IB or just needed anyone to talk to, they could reach out to their buddy. And I did this in my 11th and 12th grade year during the school year. It was about a 1-hour a week commitment for about 15 weeks a year. So the next thing I listed was community service again, and it was a service learning club at my school, and I was a club director. And basically in this club we would organize service learning activities centered around our school and the community. So we like did student and staff appreciation gifts. We also did drives and collections. And I did this in my 12th grade year. It was about 3 hours a week, 25 weeks a year, just depending. Like whenever we had upcoming events, of course, the time commitment would be higher. The next thing I put was athletics, and it was a club sport. Basically, I did Taekwondo. In the description, I talked about how I learned Korean, how I attended leader training and led lower belt classes. I competed and placed in regional competitions, and I'm also a World Taekwondo Federation black belt member. That was just a fancy way of saying I have a black belt. I don't know, I tried to make it sound like, I mean, of course, having a black belt is an accomplishment, but I tried to amp it up a little bit in the wording. I did this again in my 9th grade year during the school year. It was about 4 hours a week, 40 weeks a year. I didn't want it to seem like I'd just done Taekwondo in 9th grade and then quit, so I made sure to say in my additional information section that I actually started it in my 3rd grade year and stopped in my 9th grade year. Then the last thing I listed was, again, other club or activity, and I was a member of the psychology club at my school. We participated in mindfulness activities and mental health talks and created inspirational posters and helped plan mental health awareness activities or efforts in our school. And I did this in 11th and 12th grade. It was about a 1-hour a week commitment for about 10 weeks a year, and this was during the school year. So those are all of my activities. I hope you guys got a good idea of who I was as an applicant and who I am as a person. Again, if you have any more questions for me about the college application process or want me to go in depth into any aspect of my application, like my different activities or my grades, my test scores, if you want study tips for exams, just let me know all of that down below, and I would love to do it for you. And if you want me to read my essays for any of my schools, even if I didn't get into the school, I feel like you could still learn from it. Definitely let me know, and I will be happy to film my essay videos for you all. Thank you so much for watching. Again, I hope you enjoyed, and I hope this video was helpful, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye!